Hello, everybody. This is Susie Berry of Serene Senses, and today I am going to be teaching all about the pericardium meridian. In Chinese energy, that is also known as the circulation sex meridian, and it is an energy pathway that starts on your nipples, comes right up over and off your third finger on both sides. And it is really important for your circulation, and you tend to find when your circulation sex meridian is out of balance, you get tension in your glutes and you get a lot of tension near in your breast tissue. And so today I'm going to make sure that you can balance that out. Now, energetically, the pericardium meridian, it relates to panic, and the first set of these videos that I put out related to triple warmer, which is all about panic, and it is the yang fire meridian, one of them. And circulation sex is its yin partner. So this kind of tends to be more of a sense of inward panic. So I've kind of noticed that there is a bit of general fear going around the world. And as a child, one of my favorite cartoons was The Animals of Farthingwood, which is horribly brutal, actually, looking back on it. But one of the main characters in it was a little mother rabbit who used to run around going, "Don't panic, don't panic." And that image is what I feel when circ sex is totally out of balance. You see that in a person with the pericardium meridian all out of place. They are trying to pretend like they're not panicking, but actually internally they are going crazy. So if you're feeling like that right now, then you're in the right place to bring yourself back into balance, and hopefully by the end of the session together you won't feel that way anymore. So I am an Eden energy medicine practitioner, and what that means is that it's my job to find out where your energetic imbalances are and teach you different ways to balance them out to help you regain vitality and regain a sense of composure and help live your life better. Now, everybody individually has different energetic imbalances. You have a different meridian for each organ, and then you have triple warmer and central and governing as well on top of that. So it's difficult to know exactly what is going out of balance. So I've decided to create this little course doing a different meridian each week. And today, circulation sex is where I'm at, simply because last week we were doing spleen, and hopefully you might remember the spleen radiant circuit connection where you had one hand just on the end of your spleen meridian and the other at the center of your chest. So the center of your chest is your circulation sex alarm point. So you might find when you massage this point right in the center that it's a little bit tender. You can just hold here for a little while, just while I explain what this point actually does, because we're going to be working with it a fair bit today. Usually when you've got a chronic problem going on with your pericardium, then this point starts to flare up. And that could be emotionally, like you just panic a lot, or it could be a physical problem. It's totally up to you. I'm not here to diagnose. I'm not saying you should run out to the GP if this particularly hurts. Could be that you've just pulled the muscle there. So what I'd like you to do is just take two fingers either side of that point in the center of your breastbone and just gently pull out and just massage that point and really give it a good hard rub. You might find it's a little bit tender. If it is, that's okay. Just work with it little and often. this point is really kind of important to work with, to make sure your chest is really open, really taking in all this energy, because you're going to shift a lot of stuff with your pericardium today. So give it a good hard tap. Just breathe in and out nice and deeply. So once you feel like you've opened up the energy there, you can go ahead and just make little figures of eights over it and just come out into the auric field, just creating little figure of eights just over the top, connecting in with the energy of that alarm point there. So you're switching off the alarm, you're letting that pericardium meridian know that there's no need to be panicked right now. Just breathing nice and deeply, bringing that energy out, making a little figure of eight just in your auric field, just connecting in with your heart chakra at the moment. Breathing nice and deeply. So another really important point along the pericardium meridian is right here. So basically you're going to put two fingers just at the wrist crease, and right below that, where your third finger lies, there you've got circ 6, number 6. And you're going to give that a good rub. You might find again that's tender, especially if, like me, you've been doing planks earlier on in the day. So give it a good rub. So the affirmation that goes along with circulation 6 is, I take excellent care of my heart. So today I want you to think about what you can do for the rest of the week to take excellent care of your heart. And like I said earlier, I was just doing an exercise routine, and that's been my way of taking excellent care of my heart this week. For you, it might be reaching out to somebody that you want to connect with emotionally. So just giving that point just there a good rub on the inside of your wrist, and taking excellent care of your heart while you do so. You might find it's a little bit crunchy. So working away at it. Just opening it up either side, stretching the skin there, pulling it apart. And I'm going to move to the other side, just massaging the point. You're going to come 2 fingers, and then once you get to the third finger down, that's the point that you want to be working on. So this is circulation 6. And when you work this point, you can shift out quite a lot of stagnant energy, especially if you do what we're going to do in a little minute. Just hold it together with your alarm point. So just stretching out that bit there. And then just bringing one hand back onto the center of your breastbone, and the other just onto that point there. So you can either bring your fingers like so, 2 finger and the thumb together, bring one onto the center of your breastbone, and the other just below your wrist. So your 2 coons below your wrist bone there. You're going to hold here. If that's comfortable for you in that hand positioning, hold there for a while. If it's not comfortable and you'd rather just bring your hands down and relax, so I've got mine like so, that's absolutely fine as well. If that's more relaxing for you, then you can just keep your fingers like this. So holding the alarm point for circulation 6 for your pericardium together with CS6 helps to relieve strong emotions, and it supports a sense of calm and relaxation. So we're just going to hold here together for a few nice deep breaths. If you've got any strong emotions going on, just know that you're not alone right now. And you can rub that point on your chest or in your wrist, or you can just hold here. Either is absolutely fine. Just let yourself be present with whatever emotions come up. You may want to close your eyes and just feel into it. And as usual, you can always pause here if this is feeling good for you. If you want to just pause and just hold here for a little while, that's absolutely fine. If you want to, you can swap over and your hands the other side. So 2 fingers and a thumb together on your breastbone and one just a couple of inches below your left wrist in the middle. And give that a good rub. And while you hold here, thinking about what you want to do over this week to take excellent care of your heart. It might be cutting down on the potato chips, possibly not eating that really oily steak pie, or might be just taking the time out to read a really good book that you want to take in for yourself. Or it might be cutting connections with people that you feel have not taken good care of your heart. So you do whatever feels best for you right now. This week is for your heart, for your own highest good. And when you feel like you've shifted something and something's moved, then just bring your hand up, massage right up the center of your breastbone, give that a good rub. Put in as much pressure as you can, really stimulate that whole area with a good thump. Okay, so now that you've got that all happy, moving on, we're going to go into the source point. So this point right here in the center, you want to just move your wrist back and forth until you feel a little dip. You've got your pericardium source point right here, right in the center. And again, it might feel a little bit tight. You want to give that a good rub. And this actually sends energy right to the organ. So this whole time you might have been listening in going, what the heck is a pericardium? Which is what I did when I first learned about eating energy medicine. It is the bag that your heart sits in. So when you get tense and stressed out, sometimes the muscles in that bag clamp down around your heart, and that's why you feel chest pains. It's not necessarily your heart that's messing about, it can be your pericardium. And your pericardium governs your gluteal muscles as well. So that's why a lot of people, when they get stressed out, they tighten up their glutes. So once you've massaged on one side, you're just going to take your hand, just really stretch out your hand, really allow there to be space in the wrist for energy to flow through. Stretch it back as much as you can, and then swap over to the other side. giving yourself a nice rub all around your wrist. Stretching out your hands. Okay. And then bringing your hands, stretching them out in front of you. Stretch up and overhead. And sprinkle all that energy out inside you. And just shake it off. Whew. Right, so now that we've moved all that energy from around our wrists, we are going to move on to this lovely fire loop. My teacher, Prune Harris, she's got a lovely video just on this exercise alone. And the yin yang fire loop, and I absolutely love it. So basically, for most people, your circulation sex meridian tends to be overrunning, over energized, and this little loop helps to bring it back. Your heart itself, you never ever ever want to trace backwards on the heart meridian. So what this does is bring energy backwards along the pathway for your pericardium, so that the muscles can relax a bit, ease off, and the heart itself can get nicely boosted. So what to do is bring your hand out in front of you. I can bring it to here so you can see my finger. With the other hand, we're just going to give you a nice good rub, really build up some static here. Put your hands out in front of you, and then bring your fingers together, like so, and then draw your finger back across the hand, right up the center of your arm, down your chest onto your nipple, and then back round and coming off your pinky finger. And give your pinky a nice little squeeze and twist it off. That's the end of your heart meridian. So just pulling back along your pericardium meridian, into your nipples, back up and off. Just going to do that a couple more times. So while you're doing this, you can repeat that affirmation to yourself. I take excellent care of my heart. And the affirmation for your heart itself is, I love myself deeply and completely. So I take excellent care of my heart, and I love myself deeply and completely. I take excellent care of my heart, and I love myself deeply and completely. And then moving over to the opposite side again, giving yourself a nice bit of static build up out to the front. And I take excellent care of my heart, and I love myself deeply and completely. I take excellent care of my heart, and I love myself deeply and completely. I take excellent care of my heart, and I love myself deeply and completely. I take excellent care of my heart, and I love myself deeply and completely. You might have noticed a little yawn there. That's a nice shift of energy within me. You might find as you're doing these exercises that you yawn yourself. You might find gurgles in your stomach or burps coming up. You might even shake. Just let yourself be with it and feel the energy however you feel. And if you've got any questions or comments, then you can always ask on the live feed, or if you're watching this on the YouTube playback, then you can comment below and I will get it in my inbox soon. So from that, we're going to go into the circulation sex reactivity pose. So for your triple warmer pose, you had mellow mudra, like so, and the circulation sex one is quite similar. This time you're bringing your thumb and your third finger together, putting that at your temples and bringing your fingers up to your face. So the sound that really helps to balance out your pericardium is that nice ha. So if you remember back when we were doing the triple warmer exercise to balance out your energies for that, the fire element really was helped by this ha noise. So what I'd like you to do is just take a nice deep breath in, and then whatever sense of panic is currently within you, just imagine letting that go with a nice big sigh. So just breathing in. Wow. I can definitely see I was needing that myself, and that little yawn that I let out there. Like I said, if you're feeling different shifts of energy come across you, you might feel you want to pause this here and bring your hands down and just relax onto a table. That's absolutely fine if you feel this is really helping you shift out some panic. That's absolutely fine. So you do whatever you need to do for you. All of the exercises on this little video can be paused and come back to. So one last nice deep breath in and sigh. And actually I have this feeling that I really want to actually join up breathing techniques, because on the front you've got you're holding on to some stomach neurovasculars as well, so you're helping with the circulation the pericardium with this, but at the same time you're also holding the stomach neurovascular. So I'm going to get you to do the ujjayi breathing, or the dragon breath, which helps with the stomach meridian. It also helps with the earth and spleen meridian that we were touching on last week. So if you're joining in with the spleen, then you know what to do. So we're going to breathe in with the dragon breath. So you're going to imagine that you've got a straw at the back of your throat and make it as raspy as you can. And then as you breathe it out, you're going to give a bit nice big sigh. So just okay. You can fix your fringe if you've got one. Then, so the next bit we're going to move on to is sorting out your the start of your circulation 6 meridian. So if, like me, you don't wear a bra or your man, then this is really easy to do. If you do, then I'd advise you to go ahead and unclip it just for this next exercise, or if you're alone, take it off. Because the circulation 6 meridian starts right on your nipples. If you're a woman, over time, then they will have dropped a little bit. So actually, in order to stimulate the start of your circulation 6 meridian, you actually want to come right underneath, and you're going to push up and under. So you're going to put a little bit of pressure. So you're going to come up to where underneath your nipples would be. And And probably for a lot of you, that's going to be really tender. It's probably going to be a spot that a lot of people haven't actually touched in a while, particularly if you've been alone and self-isolating, nobody yet to. So you might want to just hold here for a little while. Now, in the class together when I was with Donna, Eden and Prune Harris, she actually asked us all to hold these points for a good 30, not just 3 whole minutes. And after 3 minutes, you can feel quite a big shift, quite a big rush. I'm not going to hold onto my breast for 3 minutes because, well, it's just a bit strange on a live feed. And I think you can do better use with your time. You probably already feel a slight shift just by holding it for this amount of time. You can work these points. Really good to work up and underneath these points. So you've got neurolymphatic points underneath your nipples, and they really get forgotten about most of the time. When you're in the shower, it's really good to get some shower gel in your hands, give it a good rub, and just really go in, up, and under, and really work in those neurolymphatics just to really help stimulate your white blood cells. And you really want to stop cancer from getting a chance to work there at all. Make sure you take excellent care of your breasts. So yeah, even if no matter what size they are, it's important you take good care of them. So just working up and underneath your nipples, working the neurolymphatic points there for as long as you want to. If you want to, you can always pause the camera here and just hold there for a little while. You can do it while you're in the bath. Just sit back and relax and hold there. What I would say is that your thumbs, they hold less of an electric charge than your fingers do. So if you are going to do it in the bath, make sure you're doing it with your thumbs and not your fingers, because you can actually give yourself a tiny electric shock. So I learned that the hard way. It's not pleasant. So once you've done that, I was going to bring out this. This is very important high-tech kit that I have. 2 tennis balls and a sock with a knot in the center. So as I was saying, your circulation 6, your pericardium meridian, governs your gluteal muscles. So if you can, if you don't have one of these to hand, you can get 2, or you can do the same job with just 1. Or if you don't have a tennis ball to hand, then you can go ahead and give yourself a nice little massage. For just now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how I would work it myself. So you're just going to take your tennis ball up against the wall, press in, and then just work that tennis ball into your glutes. And if you've been panicking, then it probably will be quite sore. You can do one side and then the other, or if you're lucky enough and you've got yourself 2 little ones, you can do both glutes at the same time and just work up and down. And it's really good to work your whole lymphatic system just by taking the tennis balls and just working all the way up and down your whole back and putting a fair bit of pressure in if you can. So while we're all in isolation and you don't have the chance to see a lovely massage therapist like myself, this is the next best thing I have found. So want to give a little props to Madison King for teaching me this little trick about 10 years ago that has stood me in good stead. Madison's a great energy medicine teacher, and yeah, thank you very much for this one. So, working on your glutes. So I've just been using these for doing my back for the past 10 years, but it was Kilmy Blake that reminded me that you can use them for your glutes as well. So, working on those, that's grand. So if you can, get yourself some tennis balls to work out your glute muscles, and hopefully that will bring down that sense of panic within yourself, because your muscles hold on to so much emotion. So in my work as a massage therapist, I tend to find that a lot of emotion comes out, and that's why I do the meditation while I'm massaging people, because I find that there's such a huge brain body connection, and I really like working with that. And hopefully you'll find that working with massaging at your own glutes or your own back using some tennis balls really helps to free out that emotion. And if you need it once all this is over, then you can always come and find me and get a massage. So you can work out your own energetic core in the meantime. So once you've got your glutes all nice and relaxed, we're going to move on to the acupressure points. So acupuncture uses needles. Acupressure just uses your hands. In this case, you're going to be using 2 fingers and a thumb on each point, because we don't really need to be 100% accurate. We are stimulating the fascia and the muscle to open up, to allow energy to flow better. And I tend to do it with affirmations so that you're getting that brain-body connection. And so just know that your own hands have so much power within them. And that's why this is really working to help you. I've had some really amazing experiences of car using these specific points, and so that's why I want to share them with you. So I'm going to start off with the source point I was telling you about here, just at the crook of your wrist, together with spleen 3. Spleen 3 is right here. Okay, so just where the end of the big toe is, just below it, where you would have a bunion, that's where you've got it. Okay, so we lovingly call this point here the bunion point. So you're going to hold on to where you would have your bunion, together with the end of your wrist. One hand onto your bunion point and your foot, and the other hand right in the center of your wrist. Okay, so I am wearing totally red all day because red is the color that helps to balance your pericardium. It's called circulation sex for a reason. You know, red is the color of sexiness. And so, yeah, I went for that vibe today. But more important than just kind of focusing on sex in general, it's about taking care of your heart and nourishing your body with love. So the point where you're holding onto your bunion, or you might get a bunion. Hopefully you'll never get one if you keep up with the energy medicine. But that point, it relates to your spleen. So what you're doing, first of all, you can massage at the edge of your foot, really get into that. You might find that it's a little bit crunchy. You want to just kind of open up that point, because we opened up the wrist points earlier, not opened up the foot points yet. So just making sure the energy is capable of flowing through that point, giving a good rub, and then drawing a few little figure of 8s over that point. And then we're going to just hold onto it. So 2 fingers and a thumb together onto spleen 3, and then right at the wrist crease, 2 fingers and a thumb. And you're just going to hold here for a little while. And so I'm going to, yeah, it's 1922 just now. So that, yeah, that would bring us up to 25. So basically when it comes to working with sedation points, this is your first set of sedation points, and you work 3 minutes on each side. So while I'm holding here, I'm going to talk you through what these points really mean. So spleen 3 relates to nourishing your body with love, and the color yellow or gold. So we were working a lot with spleen last week. If you want to connect in with that, that's one of the reasons why I decided to go for circulation 6 this week, because I can see that there's such a clear link. In order for spleen to be healthy and strong, it pulls energy along the Chinese meridian flow wheel from circulation 6. So I want to make sure that everything's flowing, that energy is really pulsating really well. Now, while you're holding these points, if you know Reiki, you can imagine sending Reiki energy into these points. It's really great to be able to influence Reiki with acupressure, which is generally what I do. If you come to me for a Reiki session, you will almost definitely get acupressure as part of it. That's just what I do. So you can imagine sending the Reiki symbols down through your hands, or you can imagine lights. If you're going to imagine a color, then you would want the color yellow going into your feet and the color red going into your wrists, because the red relates to your pericardium meridian, that's circ6, and yellow to the spleen. So you can set off a beautiful fire burning within yourself working with these points. And again, you might want to do that breathing. So you're breathing in with the Ujjayi breathing to stimulate the spleen, and sighing out that ha to stimulate the fire. And usually after a few minutes of holding these points, you might start to notice a slight pulsation in your fingers or a tingling sensation. If you notice, if you're a Reiki practitioner, you might feel a different subtle shift. Just check in with your body and see where it's at. And if you have any questions about how to work with feeling those shifts a bit better, then you can always let me know. Okay. I'm going to swap over to the other side now. So again, you're just going to come 2 fingers and a thumb together at your Kuan Yin point. So just right in underneath your big toe, and then right at the center of your wrist. And just while you're holding here, I know that for a lot of people, the affirmation, I love myself deeply and completely, might have been quite difficult when you're working with the heart. And for a lot of people with the affirmation, I take excellent care of my heart, that goes for the pericardium, that might be difficult as well. So think about what you can do to take excellent care of your heart just now. There is a general sense of panic going around the world on a very kind of global scale at the moment, and we can either choose to connect with that if we want to, or disconnect and do something else, and decide what is good for our own hearts, what's best for us in the moment, and how we can nourish our body with love. What's right for you? What nourishment do you want to give your own heart and your own body? Just breathing in and out. Again, just focusing in on that ujjayi breathing and sighing all right. Okay, so that is the first set of points. That is your main sedation points. And you could just work with sedation alone. Today I'm going to be doing 3-pointing, because usually if I had a person here, I would be checking their circulation 6 meridian to see whether it's over energized, under energized, or just balanced and totally fine, in which case we don't need to work with it at all. Most people generally have an over energized circulation 6 meridian. From what I've worked with so far, that's what I've found. However, because your circ 6 is working all the time, it kind of needs to be brought down, but it can also sometimes do with a little bit of boost. And because this is such a wide platform that everybody can join in, I'm going to work with the strengthening points as well, so you can get it balanced out. So rather than just sedating or just strengthening, I'm going to do what's called 3-pointing, where you sedate and then you strengthen and then you bring control and balance into them. So the strengthening point. Now, all of these points that I'm showing you can be found in this wonderful book, Eden Energy Medicine by Donna Eden. She is an absolute lifeline for me. You can actually, if you can, cross your legs. This is quite a good one because you can actually get both sides at the same time, because you're just going to hold on to the inside of either big toe, and then with your other finger, you actually, so the second point is actually the top of your middle finger. So all you need to do is cross your fingers and hold them onto here, to the inside of your big toe. So crossing your fingers over and holding onto the inside of your big toe, if you can. That makes, it's looking off a wee bit. Okay. So here we have our liver points on the inside of the big toe and the end of the circulation 6 meridian. So liver is all to do with being kind to yourself, and it's about letting go of a sense of anger. So while you're massaging here, you can imagine letting go of any anger. Just imagine that drifting off your big toe. And if you want to, you can always pause here. If you find it's easier, you can do one side and then the other. If sitting cross-legged is really uncomfortable for you, then don't do it. If you need to, you can always lie down and just pull one knee over a cross leg. That's absolutely fine. And just do whatever feels right for you, and you can always pause it and just hold here for a few minutes and then come back to it. So just holding here for a little while. You can imagine green light coming into your toes, helping strengthen your liver meridian. And red into your fingers. Right up through your Okay, then moving back to the control points now, at your knee and at your elbow. Taking that step forward with courage. I'd like to thank you all for watching, for taking the time to check in with me today. After I've done these points, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put off the video for a little while to allow for anybody who wants to take part in the meditation to join in at 8 o'clock. So I'll give you a little bit of time to just relax, to let anybody that you are living with at the moment to leave you alone, so you can just chill out at 8 o'clock. Remember, this is going to be recorded, so if you have previous arrangements at 8, then you can always check in on the YouTube channel, or you can go to the Patreon as well. So patreon.com/Serene Senses. And I look forward to hearing from you if you want some feedback or if you'd like some extra exercises. So I'm going to go over to the other side now. So just on the knee crease there and to your elbow. So I really hope that this little class has helped you feel less panicked if you've been really struggling over the past few weeks internally. Nobody wants to have that sense of panic within them. So working with your circulation 6 meridian hopefully should release that panic. I'm going to be talking you through a few of the poses at the start of the meditation, and hopefully you'll join me for that. I plan on taking everybody to the beach today, so hopefully you will come with me for an imaginary swim at 8 o'clock. So, okay, I'm going to let go of these points in a little while, and I'm just going to gently finish off the class just with a lovely exercise called 9 Hearts, because it's always important to take care of your heart. So you're going to start off just by rubbing your hands together, drawing the heart around your face and one around your chest, and then one around your legs and your feet. And you're just going to come back up. This time I'm going to draw it around your face, come around your ears, into your neck, and then one on your chest, one on your feet. And we're going to do it once more actually. And get 12. Even bigger this time, with a nice big heart right around your face, right around your chest, and up to your feet. So, from my heart to yours, I hope your heart is feeling lighter. I hope you feel great. And if you'd like to know anything more about Eden Energy Medicine, how it can support you, then please get in touch. And I hope to hear from you all soon. Thank you. Bye bye.